And as our attendees roll in, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Come in, join us. Grab a seat.
They're staggering in, Rob, I think. Some
Come
of them live
in,
places
pull chairs
where
up closer to us.
The inference being they need a few drinks to cope with what we're about to throw in.
Possibly, yes. There is a strong inference of that, yes. And if you haven't got yourself something fizzy or you know, something enjoyable, go grab yourself something. And we hope you're all well.
Adam, remember to do the all panelists and attendee. Yeah, never mind.
Step ahead, man. I was just saying hello to you, Chris.
Yeah.
How are we doing here? We got 11 attendees. How should we give it another minute or two?
give it another minute. If they're
Yeah, we'll do. Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to have you with us. It's I've just heard it's very hot over in the northeast, where my colleagues are in the northwest. It is a bit muggy.
Muggy in Manchester. Who'd have guessed it?
Muggy in Manchester, yeah. Not usually muggy
Sorry,
in Manchester.
Warrington,
It's just plain
wherever.
wet. Yeah.
That sounds like it should be someone who's written into a Lonely Hearts column or something like that.
I think it was a follow-up to Sleepless in Seattle, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. No wonder it didn't sell. Okay. Should we get started?
Yeah, get going.
All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Whose Crime Is It Anyway 2, where we find out if we're capable of something like the Godfather sequel or whether this is our difficult second album. First off to you all, cheers. Thank you very much for coming and joining us tonight. We hope you have another good night in our entertainment. In our company. And if you'd like to tweet about tonight at all, we've got hashtag 1 hour bestseller. That's also my name tonight. On your screen is hashtag 1 hour bestseller. And you can find us on Twitter at northern_crime. And our remit tonight is to try to create a bestseller in an hour or just under an hour between the 6 of us and all of you. So please join in tonight. We had a great do on the first one, so we're going to try and up the audience interaction this time. For a start, I think it would be pertinent if we all, for those who've not met us before, just very quickly introduce ourselves. I'm Rob Parker and I write thrillers and I live in Manchester. So if I just go around my screen for quick introductions, Trevor, would you just give us a quick line on who you are and what you do?
I'm Trevor Wood. I'm a crime writer from Newcastle and author of The Man on the Street.
Excellent. And Adam?
Hello, I'm Adam. I write under the name A.M. Peacock, which also happens to be my name. And I write police procedurals, the DCI Jack Lambert series set in Newcastle, where I'm kind of from. I'm from South Shields, but I say Newcastle. Sounds posher.
Lovely. And how about you, Judith?
Hi, I'm Judith O'Reilly and I write action-adventure thrillers and I'm based in Durham.
Lovely. And the other of the Northern Crime Syndicate's two Robs, Robert Scragg.
Hi, Robert Scragg. Living up in the northeast, it's out by near the coast, and I write the Porter and Styles police procedural series.
Awesome. And last but no means least, Chris McGeorge.
Hello, I'm Chris. I live in Spennymoor and I write thrillers. I wrote Guess Who, Now You See Me, and the upcoming Inside Out.
Fantastic. So at the bottom of your screens, you will see a couple of options there. One is a chat box, and further along, you will see a Q&A box. In your chat box, that's how you're going to answer the questions I throw out at yourselves. So when I ask for your interaction, please answer in there. The Q&A at the other side, that is if you have any burning overall questions about writing or about the Northern Crime Syndicate or anything like that pops up during the evening. And if you pop it in there, you will be able to, well, I'll ask that and put that to the panel towards the end of the night. So thank you very much. I'm going to throw out a bunch of questions. We're going to come up with a bestseller in an hour. The way this works is that you answer off the top of your head. That's the best way this works because go with your gut every time is my, well, I live by that sentiment, definitely. And I think you end up, we all know how stories work. We all know what makes stories work because we're tuned into them already. We're surrounded by stories all the time. So I think deep down, without us even thinking about it, we know how a story gets put together. So if I ask a question, go with that very first answer that comes into mind. Every story for me starts with character. And I can't think of a single one that doesn't. So we'll start there. We'll start building a character. See if we can get a hashtag 1 hour bestseller going. And I'm going to start with the audience tonight. So in your chat box, right down there, please could you give me a first name? Any first name. First name I see is the one we're going to take. I'm going to need my colleagues to help me out here. Barbara.
Barbara.
You've got Barbara from Sarah Moorhead. S.E. Moorhead is her, she is, as Sarah is published under, and her, I'm just going to make a quick shout out, her debut novel, Witness X, is fantastic. So, we've got Barbara. Barbara, Adam Peacock, how old is Barbara?
36.
Barbara is 36. 36, very, very interesting. Rob Scragg, where is Barbara?
Barbara is in Southampton.
Southampton. Very, very interesting. And Judith, what is her role in life? Does she have a job?
She's a medical secretary.
Oh, interesting. Can I forgive my dimness, but what is one of those? Because I have to do a rundown later on, and I need to know what that is.
She works for a consultant in a private hospital.
Oh wow, excellent!
Like a posh doctor's receptionist, Rob.
Yeah, he's a cosmetic surgeon.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, so she's sort of like handles the affairs of a cosmetic surgeon, essentially.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Would quite literally be the affairs.
Woohoo! Getting, it's only been a few minutes and we're already getting the juicy stuff there. Chris, what is her deepest secret?
I'm just thinking of the same one as last time. Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
Trevor, what's her deepest secret?
She works as a prostitute in her spare time.
Whoa. Sheesh. Not getting paid too well then by this particular cosmetic surgeon.
He's a cheap guy.
So a skinflint cosmetic surgeon. I mean, I'm going to have to ask questions about that guy, where this comes about. So in which case, can I ask the audience, please? I'm going to ask very quick fire. What color are her eyes? Tells you a lot about a person. Brown eyes, excellent. Brown eyes, thank you very much, Paul.
Mauve.
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 Mauve. Thank you very much, Danny Marshall, for mauve. Brown eyes, excellent. Can I have the audience again giving me a hair colour, please? First one I see is going to be the one bleached. Oh, are we talking about this, perhaps? I like it. Thank you very much.
Danny's still on the mauve theme.
Is the mauve-eyed, mauve-haired Barbara.
I can block him on the chat, if he keeps.
No, Sarah, I'm actually a wee brunette. But that's another story for another time. Right, in which case, can I have... What style of hair is it, Chris?
It's afro.
Oh, interesting. Very good. A bleached afro. Cool. And Adam, what is their alcoholic beverage of choice?
Dark and stormy.
What's one of them?
It's a cocktail.
And
Trevor's about to tell you what's in it.
Trevor, what's in a dark and stormy?
I have literally no idea.
I think, well, put it to the attendees.
Rum, got to be rum.
It's got rum in it. Yeah, it's got rum in it for sure.
Rum?
Yeah.
It's got Kahlua as well, I think, isn't it?
Rum and ginger ale, but that's Danny Marshall. I don't trust that answer. Wait and see.
Rum and ginger ale. That sounds really nice, actually.
Has it got a mauve umbrella in as well, Danny?
Is the answer. Excellent. Let's have a look at Judith. How tall is this person? How tall is Barbara?
4'10".
4'10".
But the afro adds like 5 inches.
I was going to say, is that included?
Excellent, excellent. And Adam, what is their favourite smell?
Ooh, Hugo Boss aftershave on a man.
Hugo Boss aftershave, and that is a great answer, actually. And I love how, thank you, Leslie, we've been pointing out that Barbara is legally a dwarf. So that's one to remember as we go through.
Are you allowed to use that term anymore?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If it's good enough for Snow White.
It makes her evening job quite interesting for her.
Yeah, well, I can
Very
imagine.
niche. Very niche.
So, what was, Rob Scragg, what was their job before parting? Sorry, what was their job before this? Sorry, what was their job?
She used to. She was a children's party entertainer specialising in balloon animals, particularly a balloon dog.
Excellent, excellent. Was it an amicable parting, Trevor?
From the children.
From her job as a balloon animal creator?
Yeah, I think she was excellent at it, actually, but she wanted to move on to greater things.
Excellent. Oh, well, good for her. Well done. Audience, please, could I have the 3 things that are in their pocket that they're never without? First 3 things are the ones we'll take. Keys, fluff. What's lips?
Lips of beige.
What's lips of beige? A scalpel. We got some really good ones here, actually.
Hunting knife, that's good.
Whoa, I like. Right, how about we upgrade it to a backpack and she's got all this? Condoms and a taser. That's a crime novel waiting to happen. Hunting knife, scalpel, lippy, lip chapstick. Right. So I think she's got a little bit of an arsenal.
Taser. The taser's right.
Taser.
Definitely
Yeah.
got a taser.
So we've got because I don't know what that is. So we've got keys. We've all got fluff, Danny. We've all got fluff in the pocket. That's a given. So we'll go with the purse and a taser. Right. Okay. So she's got a taser. I think, given her line of work, that's a pretty shrewd move, possibly. I like that.
Is the taser for protection, or is it for clients who are into certain things?
Well, why don't you answer that question, Rob?
Got 2 settings.
Yeah.
It's for the cosmetic surgeon.
She's got 2 settings to her taser.
It's a taser with 2 settings: stun and cheap thrill.
Yeah.
Her boss is a bit too hands-on, Rob. It's the cosmetic surgeon she keeps that for.
Right, okay. Oh, so it's nothing to do, this is interesting, nothing to do with her clients.
No.
It's for protection against her employer.
It's him.
Very can I ask, audience, where were they born? Where was Barbara born? First answer. Oh, blimey, there's loads coming in. I haven't scrolled down.
Leeds was first.
Leeds is the first one. We've got Leeds. Oh, Louisiana would be good. No, Leeds is the answer. Excellent. And Judith, when was the last time they saw the parents?
Excuse me. She's never seen her parents since she was a baby. She was put out for adoption.
Oh gosh, right. Never seen her parents. Put out for adoption. Right. Okay. So no contact whatsoever. That's what you were going to do this.
She gets a letter once a year from her mother.
That is interesting. Right. Before we go forward, there's been a request in the chat there. Switch reply to all panelists and attendees, please, so we can all see the answers. So everyone answering, please could you switch from panelists to all panelists and attendees? Thank you very much. But that's amazing. So she gets a letter once a year from her parents.
From her mother.
From her mother. Oh wow. Adam, what about siblings?
2 brothers and 1 sister.
And Chris, are they in the same boat? Do they get this mystery letter once a year?
Not sure. They're not in contact.
Oof. So she's estranged from the lot.
Yeah.
Oh, fascinating. Rob, have they ever been arrested?
It's at least a monthly occurrence, sometimes weekly.
Audience, why does she keep getting arrested? Oh, shoplifting. Parking offences. Oh, I like breaking and entering. Selling drugs. We got some great answers here.
I had to do a double take. I thought that's it, selling dogs.
She's threatening people. She's after body parts. Right, we've got 6 answers there. Trevor, which one are we going to go with?
were the body parts.
So she's after body parts.
Keeps breaking into the hospital to try and steal body parts.
Right. She has major problems. My next question is, how do they deal with stress? But I think we've answered it. That's what she does, deal with stress in her life.
Oh yeah, actually, good point from Sarah. She doesn't have to break into the hospital. She gets them from the cosmetic surgery when he's chopped off people's noses.
Fantastic. So she just basically, she's taking the offcuts.
Yeah. That's it.
But don't you just like alter what's already there though? You don't like have noses and put on new noses.
Well,
It's a revolutionary technique.
I think offcuts is an ace title according to Danny in the chat.
Oh,
that
that's
is a
good,
really
yeah.
good. Oh, Butcher Barbie, because she's called Barbara. That's brilliant as well, Angie.
Outstanding.
Making the surgeon sound like a Mr. Potato Head style, just like
Yes.
pulls those off, pops on.
I think we might have a title, guys.
I think we might do. I'm gonna make a little note because obviously got to try and put this together into some kind of story at the end. A little bit away from her major crimes, which she's quite clearly perpetrating. Trevor, what's the favourite style of music? What does Barbara get down to?
She likes rap.
Excellent.
No,
stuff.
sorry, I'm going to amend that. It's grime, not rap.
Grime, right? Excellent stuff. So she's into grimes. Does she have? How does she get around, Adam?
How does she get around?
Yeah. How does she get from A to B?
She has a. Did we say they had a scooter last time, like a Vespa?
Yeah.
Right. And then she uses a bicycle.
Excellent. 2, 3, or can you even have a 4-wheeler? No, that's like a car or go-kart. What colour, Judith, is this bicycle? And in what condition is it?
It's purple, and she's put like cheerleader sort of silvery tassels on it to make herself feel better, because it's the kind of bicycle she always wanted when she was a kid.
Like the little
character, Judith. Character.
Yeah, this is it. I know just the ones you mean. The little tassels, like the kind like Ultimate Warrior would wear around his bicep.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
They're like the ones you've got on your bike, Rob. You must remember.
Yeah. Well, actually, true story. My bike got stolen from the station fairly recently when I went for a pint. So, well, obviously pre-lockdown.
It serves you right for making it look so attractive with those little.
It's all them tassels on it, wasn't it? Right. A major one now, actually. I think I'm going to ask the audience, what is Barbara's greatest fear in life? First answer is what I'll go with. Spiders. Losing a you see, I hate this because there's always good ones that come in so
You
quickly.
combine them, Rob. It could be losing our front teeth to spiders.
I don't think it has to be the first one, does it? Can't
Spiders
you
pulling
just
up.
choose?
Yeah, should we just choose?
Yeah.
Oh, plastic surgery is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I love the character
ironic.
dichotomy of women.
Yeah, that's why she took the job.
Yeah.
Dan Stubman says cats for musical.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's terrible.
Yeah, quite right too.
I think everybody hates that, Chris.
Yeah.
I like Sarah's Judi Dench.
The audience are better than us tonight, guys. We need to.
I know.
Not good enough,
We
frankly.
need to get in their rhythm.
All right, we've got Barbara. We know what Barbara's about. I'm going to now move on to another character because all the best stories are about character interaction a lot of the time. But I feel like we have another character that we need to explore just naturally, and that's this, Barbara's boss. I feel like we need more on this person. I mean, did we establish it was a gentleman or a lady?
We didn't say.
We didn't, did we?
I think I did. Yeah, I think I did.
Okay.
She was zapping him with the taser because he was too hands-on.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I see. So we've already established it was a gentleman. Can I have from the audience a name, please? Male name for this person. Rudolph is the one. Rudolph. Rudolph.
Oh, we didn't have to take the first one, Rob. That's
I felt like it was so good. I didn't want to not take Rudolph.
Can we call him Rudy?
Rudy. Oh, I love it. Can I have we don't usually do this, but can I have a second name from the audience for Rudy, please? Rudolph. What's his last name? Barron.
Rudy Barron.
Rudy Barron. Yeah. Rudy Barron. I like it. Baron Trump. Our audience are playing games with us tonight.
Yeah, we got Rudolf Hess now.
Oh God! Right, so Rudolf Baron is Rudolf Reinhardt. That's good.
Could be double
Anyway,
barrel.
right. Baron was the one we took. Judith, how old is Rudolf Baron?
He's 45.
45. So 9 years older than Barbara. And we already know his role in life is to be, he's a cosmetic surgeon. Is that right?
Yeah, she wants him to make her taller.
So that's why she's working there, despite her fear for
She needs
cosmetic
staff
surgery.
discount. Staff discount.
Okay.
Because she wants both legs doing, not just the one.
I'm not sure she fully understands the work of a cosmetic surgeon, but
Does she just have huge heels? Does he just put an extra half inch on her heels? So what is Rudy Baron? Chris, what's Rudy Baron's deepest secret?
Oh, why did you ask me again?
Sorry,
how about if it was?
I'll come back to you for the next one. Sorry,
it was that he never actually qualified as a surgeon in the first place.
Well, I was gonna say that, but I did that last time.
Yeah, that's too similar to last time, I think.
I'll come to you for the next really easy one, Chris. I'm so sorry. What was it you just said there, Rob?
That he never actually qualified as a surgeon in the first place, but Chris thinks he might have done that one last time.
We did.
Yeah.
It was.
We did have that last time.
I've got one.
Go on, Adam.
He was culpable for a car crash that killed 2 people and a child, but he let his brother take the rap for him, and his brother went to jail, and he thrived in life.
Ooh, that's heavy going. Could I perhaps suggest?
No, you can't.
I was going to say, could the plastic surgery have come in, to help him get away with it?
Don't know.
Maybe
good suggestion in the chat as well, Rob. That it could be a twin brother.
Could be a twin. Yes. Oh, Danny's saying it's like Face Off. The world of cosmetic surgery.
I think Danny and Sarah are launching a takeover bid here. We need to watch these people.
I think they are. I think they definitely are.
They're just making up their own story on the chat.
Trevor, what's Rudolph's? What's a little habit he does when no one's looking? What do you think? What was that? What was the first thing that came?
No, I'm not doing it.
Probably wise.
Oh, go on then. Yeah, he looks at internet porn.
Oh, right. Are we talking like addictively?
No, just now and again. Keep his hand in.
Like while he's at the office, like.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much. So easy one, Chris. What's his hair colour?
White.
Chris, did we explain this panel to you earlier?
White.
He's got white hair at 45 too. I like it. White hair. And Judith, what's Rudy's earliest memory?
His mother putting him out in the snow when he'd rifled his father's desk and made a mess in his study.
Whoa.
Such a tough punishment. I need to ask more. Audience, where was this? Where did Rudy grow up? Let's have a look. Who we got? Liverpool. Excellent.
Now it all makes sense. That all makes sense.
Budapest is good. Budapest works. I love the visual idea of that. Rudy grew up in Budapest, but was made to go and stand in the snow after he messed up his dad's desk. A little bit of extra stuff off the top of my head here. Rob Scragg, what did his dad do for a living?
His dad was a gravedigger.
Oof. Was it all the records of where the bodies were buried? Was that what he was messing up? Or am I thinking off the top of my head here a little bit too much? Adam, what does Rudy consider his greatest achievement? Please don't say messing up his dad's desk when he was 2.
The work he did on a somewhat prominent gangster to totally change his identity.
Whoa, that's so great, that. So, like, you can't even talk about it. You can't even tell people how good.
Nah, he's the only loose end in that particular scenario.
Oh, you know, and now, see, this is it. You build characters, story pops out of characters. I'm feeling big story undertones here. Because maybe, you know, maybe Barbara found out about this. You know, and there's a big secret that he's in the pocket of someone. Ooh, Face Off meets Thunderball, says Danny. Yes, this is it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Audience, what is Rudy's most treasured possession? A button. And we'll go... Oh, he was actually the gangster. The gangster's own face.
Oh.
Keeps it with him in like a little pickle jar. Oh, love it. Right, I'm going to put it to you, Trevor. Which one of those is his favourite? It is the one that he's...
The stuffed dog, hands down.
The stuffed dog, excellent. Okay. Adam, what is the connection to the stuffed dog?
It was
Taxidermy is a hobby of his in his spare time, and the stuffed dog belonged to an ex-girlfriend.
Belonged to the family who were in the car crash.
Oh!
He took the dog.
Oh.
Yeah, he
Sorry.
took the dead dog.
Did he at the roadside? Was the dog dead as well? And he picked up the dog and stuffed it.
It could have been worse. He could have tried to stuff his family.
Yeah, as a like trophy, because he found that he wasn't feeling guilty after it.
I wonder whether we should ask Chris what the dog connection is actually, because I'm struggling with this one. I wonder what Chris's thoughts are right now.
Well, I think all of that was good. I mean, the taxidermy, that's where I was going as well.
Yeah.
Maybe he was practicing, seeing if he could do it with a human.
So that was his first sort of moment with the knife.
Yeah.
Dodgy taxidermy job, which led him on the road to being a full-time cosmetic surgeon. I mean, it's a usual career progression, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe it's the way they all train, actually.
Yeah. Rob, what was the last lie that Rudy told?
The last lie he told was that... Oh, I've drawn a blank. The last lie he told was that...
I can move on.
The last lie he told was his previous patient that he had injected him with anaesthetic.
So he hadn't?
No.
Oh, so it hurt a bit?
You could say that, yeah.
Was it Barbara's heels? So he's not the greatest, sort of morally, he's not the greatest, Rudolph Baron. Judith, has he ever been in love?
Yeah, he was in love with his mother, and he was in love with a girl in his school, but she wouldn't let the side he was on.
Ah, so has he? I mean, Chris, has he ever been in love since? Has he just sort of pledged celibacy since then?
Yeah, not at all. He's never been in love since. No.
So he's really sort of like amorously stunted, this gentleman. Yes. Very interesting. I nearly said he was aromally stunted, but amorously, right. Oh dear. Trevor, what's the most expensive piece of clothing that Rudy owns?
Why are you asking me?
I don't know. I'm going around everyone.
I think it's his shoes. He has some handmade leather shoes.
Oh, lovely, lovely. What style of shoes, Adam? Are we talking winkle pickers or?
What do you call them? Boat shoes.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Nice for moonwalking in, in surgery. Audience, 3 things on Rudolph's bedside table, please.
This could go anywhere.
It really could. Oh God, it has gone anywhere. Whoa! Oh,
Yeah.
Mummy's photos
Mummy's
come up. too.
photo, we like that.
I like the
Barbara's
lube and
hair.
cufflinks, though. You know, I think that's unusual.
I like that. Yeah. So what are we going for? Mummy's photo's got to be on there
You
because
could have Barbara's hair, but it could be like a little voodoo doll fashioned out of Barbara's hair.
I like
Ooh.
hacksaw. Hacksaw's good, Rob.
On the bedside table.
Aye.
Oof. Right, we've got those 3 things. We've pictured. We've got a huge. We've got 2 very, very interesting characters here who've both got. I mean, it's fair to say, massive, massive problems. So I'm going to ask now. We're going to start looking at the story itself. Audience, give us a place anywhere in the world. Well, not anywhere in the world. Anywhere in Southampton. Give us a building, occupation, anything.
That is the place.
That is yeah. Give us a building. Pret-a-manger.
All right. I thought you meant like a little kid, like.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I know. I really stuffed up the question, Adam. I'm sorry.
Roll that up again.
College, there's some good ones here. Right, so I'll ask Chris, could you pick for us, please? St Mary's, Royal Marines Training College, Barbershop, or Marks and Spencer?
Can we have Marks and Spencer, but there's a Pret-a-Manger inside it?
Oh, we confused 2. We definitely can
do they do that, Pret? I don't know.
I don't know. But we're creating this. This is our 1-hour bestseller. So, yes, we can say.
To be fair, though, if that wasn't the case in real life, that's the sort of thing you get pulled up for in a review.
Well,
yeah.
You know what? If it's as long as it's a good, funny 1-star review that totally missed the point, then I'm fine with that. That's fine by me. So, Adam, what time of day is it in Pret-a-Manger?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Judith, can they see outside? What's the weather like?
You can't see outside now.
Oh, so it's all purely artificial light. Oh, I hate that.
It's in a shopping mall.
Oh. And who is present, by the way? Who's present, Trevor?
Rudy, Barbara, and the gangster.
Oh, this is excellent. The gangster. Right.
Does he recognise the gangster?
No.
Oof.
The work he did on the gangster has started to fall apart a bit, so the gangster is not looking at his best.
Bits dropping into his latte.
Which is why he's not very happy, basically.
I'm very, very interested in this scene here, but right, we'll go something. Right, actually, no. We've got, as we did last time, we've got a set of crime writer get out of jail cards, which you can just call in at any point. When we're writing our crime novels, all 6 of us, we'll have these things where, we need something to happen, and we'll pick something out of thin air to make it happen. I'm contextualizing a little bit and generalizing, but I've got 5 things here. So, Judith, can I have 1 to 5, please? Give me a number 1 to 5.
4.
4? They hear something in the distance. In Marks and in Pret-a-Manger in Marks and Spencer's. Audience, what did they hear? This again could be absolutely anything. A gangster in a wheel, a high whining noise. Oh, a shriek in the kids' clothes aisle, a revving engine. See, the audience, they always come up with the good stuff here. Someone struggling with anaphylactic shock.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I like that. Rob Scragg, could you pick one of those for us, please?
Let's go with the anaphylactic shock then.
So, right. Chris, who's gone into anaphylactic shock?
A woman trying on underwear.
Was it the underwear? Was she allergic to the underwear?
No, it was unrelated.
It's totally unrelated. And what does that cause? What happens? What does that cause to happen, Trevor?
Well, she's suffocating.
She's suffocating.
Yeah, there were traces of nuts in the underwear.
Oh. Okay.
And of our 3 characters, who goes over to help her? Judith.
Rudy, because he's a doctor.
So Rudy, he's got a bit of humanity in there after all. Perhaps.
Yeah. What he doesn't know, though, is the woman who's gone into anaphylactic shock is actually Barbara's real birth mother.
Oh, I love it.
And from what I know of Rudy, he's not gone there because of the anaphylactic shock. He's gone there because there was a woman trying on her underwear.
Yes, I think that's sort of,
clear about his character here.
Danny's made a scurrilous accusation in the chat that Rudy put peanut butter on M&S pants, and we are not to pass it on under any circumstances. So, this is the inference here, Rob, is that that Barbara's mum has been trying to track her down finally. So, would you hazard a guess why, after all this time, she's finally come to speak to her?
She hasn't, actually. The reason she's there is because she got an anonymous message telling her to meet in Marks and Spencer. She got there 10 minutes early to try on some underwear, but the message was actually sent by Rudy.
So Rudy's playing matchmaker?
Maybe, don't know.
Well, not matchmaker, but he's getting the family back together. So what Rudy started off as quite a callous person, and he still retains those elements, but like in all good crime novels, no one is quite as they seem. He has some redemptive features.
You're assuming he wants to reunite them for a positive reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Does Barbara's mum survive the anaphylactic shock? You have a life in your hands here. Yes, she does. Barely. That's 3 yeses, 1 barely will take that she survives this. Adam, does this create a moment where Barbara finds out that the family bond?
Oh.
They'll have to.
I like Dan Stubbins' suggestion there, Rob. Dan says that Rudy wants to do a mother and daughter murder.
Whoa!
But what about if? So you know she survived, hasn't she? So
yeah, survived. That's the thing.
Yeah, unless he, yes, I suppose yes, it helps create a bond. That's the short answer.
And Trevor, is it a good moment or is it a bad moment when they finally mother-daughter after all this time finally come together?
No, I think it's a bad moment. Barbara's not happy at all.
Right. So she feels, I'd imagine at this point, she feels ambushed by Rudy and his attempts to get them back together after, what's quite clearly a very, very sensitive part of Barbara's past here. I think at this point, we need to talk about the goals of the characters. Judith, what is it Barbara is trying to achieve? I mean, obviously we know she's going to the cosmetic surgery to get help to increase her height. What is her overall?
She wants to feel loved and accepted because her self-esteem is terrible because she was rejected when she was a baby, and that means that she now rejects anyone who comes into her life.
Right, excellent. So she's got a quite very pure and honourable forward goal in this one. Rob, does she achieve it? No. Very succinctly put, no. Dan says Rudy wants to recreate his mother using women's skin. His own mother? Sheesh, that's darkness.
This is getting dark.
This is getting really dark. As soon as you put cosmetic surgeons in a crime story, though, it does tend to drift that way. Chris, what's Rudy's intentions? What's his ultimate goal throughout the course of this novel?
Wow, I can't top what Dan just said, I don't think.
Rudy wants to use this mother-daughter partnership to create his own image of his own mother.
Yeah, but
that's why he was a cosmetic surgeon, because he keeps trying to make other women look like his mother.
And then is it not that he's going to use Barbara because she was the same height as his mother as the kind of the doll for that, and Barbara finds out and then has to plot and then to bring him down by making the gangster think that Rudy's told everyone about what happened.
Maybe he also tried to make the gangster look like his mother.
I love all these. See,
I think surely he wants Barbara's mother. He wants her to look like his mother. She's about the right age, and that's why he tried to reunite them.
I think that sounds about right. I think that works just perfectly.
Motivation.
It's like a live brainstorming session as well, isn't it? Where we throw ideas together and get the right one. Because you've got to go with what feels good in your gut. We know that Barbara doesn't get what she wants at the end. She doesn't achieve that validation she wants. I think that's a very sad ending for Barbara. But what about Rudy? Adam, does Rudy get what he wants?
Aye.
He does recreate his mother. Fabulous. Now, this is where we can have a lot of fun with the titles of this. Bearing in mind, let's not forget that that Barbara herself is collecting the offcuts of all the people that come into the cosmetic surgery. Judas, just remember. Yeah.
What does she do with those, by the way?
I don't know. You guys came up with it.
She's an artist. Let's just go with the fact she was an artist, and you know, she wanted an exhibition entitled "Offal" to appear in the local art gallery.
Would it not work as some kind of freaky prop for our prostitution stuff on the side?
Oh my God, Adam!
I forgot about that bit as well.
Seems the obvious answer. I don't know why we're not all thinking.
So we've got sort of Act 1 is Barbara and Rudy are in pret-a-manger with a gangster, discussing the fact that his plastic surgery is falling apart, and a woman goes into anaphylactic shock nearby, well, I mean, it turns out, lo and behold, it's Barbara's mum that Rudy was trying to, get them back together with his ulterior motive. Flipping heck, this is deep and dense, this one.
Definitely dense.
We've got the we've got so I always like when we do these and when we do these exercises, I like going from, we've got the beginning, I like to go straight to the end. That's why I was asking about whether people got what they wanted. Because if you've got the beginning and the end, you can stitch together very easily the middle rather than rambling about in the middle and not really know where you're going. So at the end, we know Barbara doesn't get what she wants, but we know Rudy gets what he wants. Rob, where does this take place? Where does the end take place?
It actually takes place in the Turner Gallery.
Oh, the Turner Gallery. Excellent. Sorry. When you're trying to remember all the characters that are together here.
We haven't got a name for Barbara's mum. I feel she should have a name of some kind.
Oh, well, let's do that.
Barbara's mum.
Can we have a name, please? Oh, we got
Big Barbara.
Ginny's good. I like Ginny.
Ginny is good. Let's go. Thank you, Angie. Let's go with Ginny. So, Ginny's hit. She survived. What's happening at the end, Adam? Why are they together in the Turner Gallery?
Oh, great. Thanks for asking.
It's Barbie's exhibition, surely, isn't it?
So is it her, right, Judith? It's her exhibition night.
It is, but in one of the exhibits, she's stolen from Rudy's surgery, which is the gangster's old face in a jar, and it's spotted by the police. So they realise and they say, "How did you get this face?" And she said, "It was Rudy what done it," and the police arrest Rudy.
So I'm assuming from that she's found out what Rudy's main goal here is. What what he's really trying to do, and she's turned the tables on him somewhat.
I think he's done it, hasn't he? The mother didn't survive, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she survived.
Oh.
And Rudy got his goal, so she now looks like his mum. Well, she must if he got his goal. I thought we'd agreed that. So.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So when
a whole thing.
So when he's in court being prosecuted for doing the gangster's face, his only comfort is looking across the courtroom and seeing the woman who looks like his mother watching from the spectators gallery, and he draws comfort from that.
That's so twisted. And I really
what if
I
he's
really
in
hope that comes
court?
up in the titles in a bit.
If he's in court and he looks across and he just sees a sea of people and they've all got his mum's face, because he's done cosmetic surgery on all of them.
Any second now, Danny's going to put Being John Malkovich as Psycho meets whatever.
So, sort of gradually that everyone in Southampton is going to slowly become Rudy's mum. The more and more cosmetic surgery people have. Yeah, that's a really good point from Chris there. If anyone's got any questions for us, pop them in the Q&A box, please. And we'll bring those up. So we know what happens at the end. It actually ends with a trial.
I think it ends with him. I think it ends with him being convicted and going down the steps into the cells. And he calls out. All you can hear is his voice. "Mummy, let me in from the cold. Mummy, mummy, mummy."
Oh, and thus we go full circle. I love that. I love that.
What's happened to the gangster in all this? Is he not in the courtroom as well, but in his new falling apart face? Or maybe he's found a better cosmetic surgeon, so even Rudy doesn't know it's him.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I was, because we built two characters, I was going to ask for a third character breakdown of the gangster, but I don't, I like that. I think the gangster's actually really important. He gets a bit underserved here. So we'll quickly throw the gangster together. Audience, please, can I have a gangster name? Jimmy Two Shoes. Nipper.
We could do better than this, surely.
That's from our own Adam.
Adam, you're allowed to speak, That's.
I was taking part. I got excited and became an attendee. Sorry.
I think we got a few really good ones there. Mr. Truth is very good. Jimmy the Screwdriver, Freddy Two Scars, Clyde the Hammer.
It's all very Bugsy Malone kind of era.
It's a little bit, isn't it?
Just a game combine a name with a tool, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I like that. Should be a woman though. We could have. Why not? Let's do that. So,
Jenny the Screwdriver.
Chris, Johnny Spirit Level. Frida Two Scars. Now I do like that. I do like that. Oh, bang me leg. Chris, what are you gonna? Can you settle this for us? Who are we gonna call the gangster?
Oh God.
Have I asked another difficult one?
Jimmy the Screwdriver. There we go.
Right, there we go. Jimmy the Screwdriver. Yeah. And Adam, what is their sort of particular line of illegality?
Cocaine and women.
Oof.
Which is why I've thought of a way of tying it in, but I'll not ruin the end.
No, I'd like. Please do so. Please do so.
I was wondering if there's some way of him, like it turns out he kind of controls and is the sort of the pimp for Barbara in her other job, and they've been working together all along to try and frame Rudy because he doesn't want any loose ends. And so
what about the stuffed dog, Adam? Can we put drugs in the stuffed dog as well?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Which is Rudy's prized possession.
Trevor, why not? Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I mean, why not? A stuffed. What kind of dog is it, though, please, Judith?
It's a spaniel, a King Charles spaniel.
Oh, with the lovely ears and the. Yeah.
The twist in the tale could be that the dog actually it has Barbara's mum's eyes in it.
Well.
I have no idea where this is going.
I know, I don't, and I'm looking at the chat at the minute now, and there's some incredible ideas going on. Right, so we've got the whole thing there, really. I mean, I don't think.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, that's totally done.
Yeah,
no. There we go.
I don't think we even need an editor, Rob. I think it's good to go.
I think we have ourselves. We've done this here, but we need a title. So, audience.
What happened to Butcher Barbie?
Butcher Barbie's good, but I don't think
I still quite like Offcuts.
Offcuts.
Oh, that's pretty good.
The Melting Pot.
Adam
again in the chat. cold cuts, the melting pot, off cuts. I think the first cut is the deepest. We had Butcher Barbie as well. Yeah, they all work. They all work. You guys, my colleagues, do you have any particular favourite there?
I like the last one.
I like cold cuts. It's pretty good.
Either cold cuts or off cuts, I think, for me.
Cold cuts.
Have a look.
Mummy's Boy's good as well.
Well, to be fair, you can't copyright a title. Just call it Face Off.
Cold cuts is better.
Well, Scarface, probably.
Just don't put the hyphen in it, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Judith, could you settle this for us? Off cuts or cold cuts?
I think cold cuts.
Cold cuts it is. So, time to try, good grief, bear with me here, to try to do a rundown of Cold Cuts, the new bestseller from the minds and audience and friends of the Northern Crime Syndicate. It follows, the notes are an absolute disgrace at this point. It follows Barbara, who is a 4'10" medical manager? Was that what it was? Medical secretary, who works for Rudy Barron, who is a 45-year-old cosmetic surgeon. Rudy is a very dangerously messed up man, Barbara is equally messed up. She's gone to work for Rudy because she's struggling with her own self-image and desperately seeks improvement, and she thinks that cosmetic surgery is the way to go about it. Somewhere along the way, she's got very, very confused, and she's now collecting the off-cut body parts of the people that Rudy works on. How she does this, we didn't establish. It could be a bucket. It could be... I do not know how this comes about. Anyway, we've learned a lot of things about her, that she was born in Leeds, and once a year she gets a letter from her mother, who she hasn't seen since she was born. Rudolph Barron, the cosmetic surgeon, is aware of this, and he's doing his best to bring them together for his ulterior motive, which just so happens to be he's trying to use their collective body parts to recreate his own mother. Why is he doing this again?
He had a mother fixation.
He had a mother. Thank you very much.
Barbara's mother looks a little bit like his mother, and he thinks he can work on her to make her look exactly like his mother.
Thank you very much. That's exactly correct.
I've no idea how he knows that, because he's never seen her. But
they've never spoken.
You think Barbara's going to look like the mother? The mother's going to look like Barbara.
Well, yeah. That's it. So by process of deduction and logical processing, he believes that Barbara's mother will look like Barbara, and therefore
maybe a bit taller,
possibly a little bit taller. They will be perfect for creating his image of his mother. In the midst of all this is a gangster called Jiminy the Screwdriver, I think. Jiminy. Jiminy Screwdriver. At one stage, needed cosmetic surgery from Rudy to try and change his appearance so as to avoid prosecution. In that process, though, latterly, after that process, the plastic surgery is going a bit to pot, and it appears to be sort of disintegrating. So he's come back to sort of redress the balance. This is when the master plan takes place and all comes together. While this is going on, Barbara's been collecting all her body parts and is ready to put on an art exhibit at the Turner Gallery, which she does. But this all comes together, everyone's plans come out, and there's the arrest of Rudy. And Rudy is sent to trial. And at the trial, the gangster is there, Jiminy the Screwdriver, with wearing his mother's face. Is that right? Did we get there in the end? No, is that Trevor? What happened? I can't.
He's got a new face, I think. I think Barbara's mum is there looking like Rudy's mum, and Jimmy the Screwdriver has a completely new face, so Rudy doesn't know he's there, I think. I mean, I'm thinking that there might be a relationship between those two, possibly in the future, but you know.
Yeah, that's
poor Rudy. Why is he being arrested?
Well, I think the gangster put drugs in his favourite stuffed dog.
Oh, I forgot that.
We had his old face, didn't we? So he's being arrested for hiding you know, hiding the gangster.
That was the first part, and then when
Yeah.
they searched his house, they found the drugs hidden in the stuffed dog.
The stuffed King Charles Spaniel.
Yeah, exactly.
And thus endeth Cold Cuts, which Sarah Moorhead has given us the tagline, "Be a Freud, be very a Freud," which is excellent.
We're taking that. That's our.
No, we're taking that.
Did
Thank
you
you
read
very,
the
very
copyright
much.
rules about anything that's mentioned in the chat room is
I
ours?
didn't. We'll have to bring that. If the audience keep bringing up gold like this, we're going to have to bring some out. We have a couple of Q&A questions before we all sign off. First off is from Leslie Turrell. Hiya, Leslie. It's, do writing courses help writers develop? And if so, how? Anyone want to take the lead there?
I'll go if you like.
Yeah, Joe.
I think I'd have to say definitely, Leslie, because I did the MA at UEA, which was hugely beneficial to me. I think certainly helped me get an agent. And I was on the same course as Harriet Tice, and Blood Orange has done pretty well. So I think it's very helpful, would be my answer.
I would agree. I didn't do anything quite to the extent that Trevor did, but I went on a couple of kind of 1-2 day courses run by some of the big festivals. So I went on the Creative Thursday at Harrogate, and also at Newcastle Noir did a 2-day writing workshop. And even just those little kind of snippets there, it really kind of makes you think about the structure, actually kind of the mechanics behind putting a story together, as opposed to just trying to blurt it all out.
Yeah. I should have added as well that there were 11 people on my course, and 5 of us are now published, and 2 others have agents as well. So 7 out of 11, really, which is astonishing.
That is amazing, honestly. Yeah. I sometimes get the impression that being around those people and people going through a similar sort of thing that you're going through, and aspiring to go the same places you're aspiring to go to, gives you like an extra sense of drive and impetus, that kind of thing, perhaps.
Yeah, and we all still share work now, several years later. So yeah, you build up a team as well, I think.
That's really cool. Dan Stubbins would like to know, what is the hardest part of writing a novel for all of us? Should we go around and do a quick answer each?
Shall I start?
Yeah, go for it, Adam.
The bit I'm doing right now. No, I think once you get to sort of 20,000 words, 20 to 30,000, I find there is it's like when you run a marathon, you hit so many miles, and then you hit a bit of a wall. And I think you have to get beyond that sort of 35 to 40,000 to break through that wall. And then you can churn on for a while. So in terms of blocks of writing, it's definitely after that initial boom, 20 odd to 30,000, I think it's the hardest part for me in that regard.
Judith?
I'd say planning. I know not everyone here plans, but I think I make heavy weather of it, and it takes me too long. But I can't do without it. So I think you have to break through the pain barrier.
Rob?
It's probably been a bit different for each book for me. So at the moment, I'm struggling to come up with a title for the one that I'm halfway through writing. And I thought I had another 2 or 3 months to come up with the title, but I got an email off my editor today saying that they're already starting to kind of have conversations with some of the kind of the non-UK sides of it. So have I got a title I could check? Because that would be really helpful. So I've spent like half an hour this afternoon thinking like, oh shit, what am I going to call it? But similar to Adam as well, I think probably that kind of between 30 and 50,000, it's not that I struggle to get the words out, but that's probably the part where I doubt most in terms of the quality. Because, you get that, you always try and kind of start things off with a bang, end with a bang, and it's that bit kind of maybe about a third of the way through that you think like, am I really doing enough to keep the retention here? So it's probably been a bit self-critical, but...
I think self-criticism is an important part of it as well, though, isn't it? Keeping an eye on yourself. And you can't help, we're all, this seems to come up quite a bit, the question of doubts, self-doubt. We all experience it at some point or other, without question. Chris, what about you, man?
Well, on top of what everyone else has said, probably just having to put in the time with this one idea, and you can sit down on day one and kind of know how it's going to end, but you have to kind of just put in the time, and you have to work at it, and all this time you might have different ideas for different books, but you're here doing this one, and you've got to just carry on with this one until it's done. Yeah, that's for me.
I understand. Trevor?
I mean, I agree with Adam about that particular area of the book, but I think the hardest part is trying to do it on your own, really. Surround yourself with people. Find people who'll read stuff for you, who you trust. Because if you try and do it on your own, you'll struggle, I think, really. It's much harder. So when you get to that point where you're really struggling and you're not sure if it's any good, have somebody that you can show it to. Get a second opinion, third opinion. But trust is the main thing. Find people you trust. Not just in the sense that they'll be honest with you, but that they know what they're doing as well.
Yeah. No, I can definitely understand that. I think for myself it would be I really don't find it difficult to start, but I got at the end, you know, when you know there's 10,000 words to go and you've got to tie everything up. That like I'm at that point right now, and I'm like, right, it's all just there waiting for me to grab and tie up together. But I'm nervous about it, and I keep finding reasons why I can't go in and just do it. You know what I mean? So at the minute, that's the one for me, definitely. But as you've just heard there, everyone, there's all sorts of different bits that are the hard bits. But whatever works for you is whatever works for you. However you get the words down, we all go through different processes to get there. But as long as you've got the words down, then you can fix them up afterwards. I think that's the one. Thank you very, very much, everybody. It's been another dazzling Whose Crime Is It Anyway? We'll do this again soon. We've got another panel coming very soon as well. Keep an eye out for giveaways. And we've got the podcast is rolling and getting loads of listens at the moment, so it's brilliant. And thank you all for all your support. Please hashtag us at hashtag 1 hour bestseller. And please come back next time. Thanks for everyone tonight. It's been amazing. You guys were an incredible audience. Appreciate it all. Take care.
Cheers,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you in the other room, guys, yeah?
Yeah, will do.
Okay.